Do you want to pick up crocheting? This is the first thing you should ever crochet is this sweater. Now what you'll need is, most importantly, you need some of the cheapest yarn that you can find. Make sure that it's size 4 and a 5.5 hook. You'll also need some tape, some stitch markers, and optional, some buttons, needle, and thread so you can sew those buttons on. Now the way that everyone crochets is different. Everyone does different things with their hands. This is just how I do mine. Now, I want you to cast on 30 stitches. This is tricky. This is the first thing you're going to do. You may want to spend some time doing this and just getting used to holding a hook in your hand. But eventually, I want you to have 30 of these plus 2. Now, you are going to turn your work over to this side, and you're not working that first one, you're working the second one. You're putting your hook right into the very tippy top of that. And then you're going to single crochet all the way down. Now, just because you don't hold your hands like I do, that doesn't matter. What matters is you are trying to get every single stitch to be about the same size. Now, the other thing that's really important is every time you get to the end of your row, add a stitch. This will make your edges really neat and even. Now, once you have gotten the hang of doing this single crochet, you are going to go and take that measuring tape and measure yourself around the chest, and you're going to draw this diagram. So take whatever your measurement is plus 2 inches. Don't worry, the shirt will not be tight. Crochet stretches a lot, but this measurement is how wide each of your squares are going to be when you make them. And I recommend that you measure every single square that you create, because you're still learning and they're all going to be a little bit different shape. So each square on the back is going to be 1/4 of your measurement plus 2 inches. In the front, it's going to be minus 4 inches because you're going to be adding that 2-inch lapel. Then you're going to measure your arms, and you're going to do the same thing for the length of your arms. The width of those squares needs to be the width of your arm around. See where it is? Now you're going to lay them out like this. Once you have all 16 of those done, you're going to lay them all out, and you want to take stitch markers and put them all together just like shown. And as you're creating these, I want you to give them all really long tails because you're going to use those tails to sew them together. You're going to sew each of the 4 that make up the sleeve together first, then the other sleeve. Before we get into all of the sewing, I want to show you how to weave in your ends, because this is fundamental for all of any crochet project you do. You will have to weave your ends 3 times. You have to go in 3 directions when you weave an end properly so that it isn't skittering all over the place. And so this is how you do it. So every time you're weaving these together, make sure that they're really flat, and then you're going to be doing a mattress stitch like so. See how I'm placing my needle? Feel free to zoom in, and you're going to go all the way up. This is how you're going to sew it together when the stitching is going in this direction, as you can see. Now, once you've got the 2 sleeves done and the bodice done, you're going to sew the sleeves onto the bodice. It's important that you make sure that your sleeve, your stitching is going in this right-left direction, and the bodice is going the up-down direction, and you want to sew them together like so. And be really careful that you're laying this really flat so that it's not getting all bunched up. Once you have both sleeves on the bodice, you're going to fold it like this, and you're going to sew all the way up the sleeve like that. And now is for the most exciting time. You're going to try it on. You're going to try it on now. It will look very different with the edging later on. So for the edging, you're going to cast on 9 stitches, and then you're going to slip stitch it into the sleeve. Then you're going to work on your next row. This will be single crochet this very first row. After you've single crocheted that very first row, you're going to start ribbing. So you're going to add a stitch at the end like you always do to keep your rows neat. And then you're going to be working in that very front loop. So you're not working the top like you do when you single stitch. You're working in the very front of it. Now we're doing sleeve ribbing, so that means we need to scrunch this up. So every time you are slip stitching, you're scrunching up 4 or 5 different rows as you're doing your ribbing so that the bottom of your sleeve isn't gigantic like this. We want it to be all scrunched up and cute like this. And you're going to sew the 2 ends together. I'll teach you that at the end. If you are adding a button, when you go to do this, you're going to start at the side of the sweater that you want the buttons on, and you're starting at the middle of the collar, right? And you're doing ribbing. But since you're doing ribbing on the outer edge of the sweater and not the sleeve, we are not bunching up anymore. So you're going to do it like so. Now, once we have crocheted all the way down to the corner, at this corner, you're going to add three rows of ribbing so that it looks like this. So you're going to stick all of those rows into that one loop there. Now, if you are choosing to add buttons, once you are past that part, it is time to decide where you're going to put your buttons. To sew on a button, you're going to get your needle and thread. You're going to leave some thread on the end so you can knot it later. You're going to do an X. So you're going to do each side 3 times like so. And then at the end, you're going to spin the thread around the button like this. Then you will stick your thread through the back and you're going to knot it 3 times like so. Then snip it, leaving a little bit of thread behind. Match it to the other side of your sweater, put some stitch markers there so you remember where to put the buttonholes. So when it's time to do your buttonhole, you're going to stitch on 4, then you're going to do 1 stitch like this, right? And then you're going to do the ribbing. And so you're just going to leave 1 little hole. Now, if your button is bigger, you might need 2 or even 3 stitches. What I recommend is do 2 rows, right? So do like that row with the buttonhole and then add another row on top of it. And then you just test out your button like this. Very fun. Once you get done ribbing everything, I want you to look anywhere and weave any ends that are sticking out. And then you're going to sew this ribbing together. Now, notice how I am sewing this together. I'm sewing with the front loop and on the right and the back loop on the left. What I'm doing is I'm giving the illusion of the ribbing. I'm giving the ribbing on both sides. See? And then the last thing you need to do is you weave that last end in and you have completed an entire article of clothing. Oh my goodness, if you have gotten this far in this video, you are amazing, you're wonderful. Please push all the buttons. Please make this sweater. Please send me all of the photos of what your sweater looks like. And if there are any parts of this video you would like me to recreate and slow down, like any of the skills that you're just like, wow, I don't actually know how to do that. That is really hard. I am happy to slow it down. It was just hard to get every single piece that you need to do for this sweater into one less than 10-minute video. Wear your sweater. Tell people you learned this from Riley. I am so proud of you if you have created this object. Yay!